Suge and Diddy had this huge, feud going on. You know, there's this picture that recently came out of Suge playing with Diddy's son. What did you think when you seen that?
We had saw this picture, and it wasn't the ones that was recently released. It was a picture of Suge hugging Misa, and Misa having Justin in her arms, and the thing said, "What the East Coast won't take care of, the caption said, what the East Coast won't take care of, the West Coast will." Puff saw that and almost blew a stack in his head. A vein came across his head. I mean, like he was heated. And he got on the phone. I guess he was trying to reach Misa. He was trying to, he was going crazy. And recently, I had told that story on another platform, and I told the story before, and then somebody said they don't believe it. It didn't happen. I was just capping all this other stuff. And now the photo gets released by I don't know who, and Suge Knight is playing Play Daddy on the floor with Justin. And somebody's taking the pictures of him and everything. I know Puff was probably, I don't know if he probably was still mad at that today to see that. Because he probably didn't know those pictures existed.
In the lawsuit, it talks about a situation where they heard about Suge being at a restaurant, and Puff they allegedly went to grab some guns and go after him or something, man. Do you know anything about that situation?
The part I know about the situation, it wasn't the fact that Suge was at the restaurant. D-Rock, Big's man, was at the restaurant. And they had D-Rock trapped in the restaurant. Now, this story came from D-Rock himself, because I was wondering, I was trying to have a sit down with D-Rock and Puff, and I wanted to have a sit down with D-Rock first and let him know all what happened and how did Big end up going to the party when I told y'all not to go to the party. And that's the party that Big got murdered at. So D-Rock told me how Puff, loaded up some guns and everything and had one of the girls, and I didn't know it was Cassie at the time. His girl came into the restaurant with the guns, giving it to him so he could be safe from whatever was going to go down or whatever they thought was going to go down, with Suge and his people. So that part was true, because that was told to me by the person who was in the restaurant.
Was that the only situation like that you're aware of?
About what?
About Puff and Suge.
Man, the times we saw Suge, you got to realize, I was part of Black Hands and Slick in the Family. The time I saw Suge I never had a problem with Suge. You understand what I'm saying? So it was never no issues. I seen Suge at the Super Bowl. It was no problem, no issue with Puff. We saw Suge in the back of the House of Blues, and Tupac was alive at the time. Tupac was in a white top, a white drop top Rolls Royce, Bentley, whatever that is. Suge was in a red one. We rose up to Pac, and Puff tried to speak to Pac. He like, "Yo, what up, Pac?" Pac looked at him and turned his head. Didn't say nothing to him, got right back on his phone. And the dude in the back of Puff at the time was named Riz. Riz said, "Yo, F him, speak to Suge. Suge is the boss." Right? So then Puff said something to Suge. He said, "Yo, what up, Suge?" He said, "What's up?" He said, "Yo, you think we got any problems out here?" Suge said, I don't know no problems that y'all have. You think we good out here?" He said, "You should be. Suge I don't know any problems you got, bruh." You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
And Pac was alive then. You understand? We drove off. We had a reporter with us. I think he was from either Rolling Stones or that other big magazine. So never had no issues with Suge or nothing like that. Even at the Soul Train Awards, when it was Pac and Big going at it, you know, they had us outnumbered, but the FOI was right there too. But it wasn't no issue like that. It was just a lot of mouthing and talking between Pac and Big.
Do you remember what they were saying or what the main issue was that they were talking about at the time?
What I was told was because another officer was there with me who worked with me at my job because I brought him out there with us. He told me that verbatim, Pac started yelling to me, now you on the West Coast. Now you on the West Coast. You on the West Coast, you fat mother. Now you on... Talking to Big like that. Big said, man, I don't care where I'm at. I ain't scared. You understand? Big man stepped in front of Big, and that was C Gutter. You understand? They start coming close. Suge was in front of Pac, holding Pac back to the side. C Gutter pulls a gun out on Suge. When C Gutter pulled the gun out on Suge, the FOI just came and rushed and got in the middle of everything.
What was Puffy doing? Because I definitely heard a couple different people say that Puffy ran.
What happened was we was running to the thing. I was with Puff. We was running to the thing. And this is exactly how it happened. And I don't care what nobody say, bro. So now we was running to the event, to where they was at. We had got stopped by some FOI guys. Puff was getting into it with them. Mustafa, who was Farrakhan's son, stopped the whole incident right there. So he let us go. We was running through there. So now I see Suge them there at the bottom of the steps, coming up the steps. Puff was right here on my left side. On down, it's an embankment where you could jump down and go behind the television media vans. So I told Puff, I'm like this, and I tell Puff, man, just watch out for my family, man. There ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You good. Trust and believe. And so then we start walking. As soon as we got to that wall right there, you could jump down. Puff just jumped down. And then he started running towards the media vans. Then he went up under the fence of the media vans. It's just those little wire fence. You know how they separate the things, the little wires. He pulled it up, went up under the media van, and then next thing I seen him in the middle of the parking lot, and Suge and them had walked past me.
Okay. So they had a long feud going. You've been coming out for a while, talking about Puffy, Biggie, Bad Boy, and everything that you've seen and went through has a bodyguard. Have you gotten any death threats, or has anything happened, or has anybody approached you and tried to do anything to you?
I get death threats every week, every day, and I've been getting them ever since I came out. So I'm not worrying about anybody doing anything to me. Listen to me. God ain't finished with me yet. When he is, ain't nothing I could do about it, bro. You got to realize every day I went to work as a parole officer, my life was in danger. Every day I worked at a nightclub at Sue's Rendezvous, my life was in danger. Every day I worked at a housing complex in New York City, which was Lambert Housing, one of the worst housing complex that anybody could do security at. That's where the Purple Top gang was at. I was there during that time. Eastchester Housing. I was there when Jamaican Posse was up there. Lambert Housing. I was there when it was crazy over there. Every day of my life, I always had, my life was threatened, or I probably couldn't make it home to my kids. And, I know I got God on my side, and I take all precautions. I keep my head on the swivel, and I'm not worried about what somebody say they gonna do to me. I never have, never will. When you grow up in a place like Wellston, you know what I'm saying, people didn't stop at the stop sign, brother. You ask anybody around St. Louis City about Wellston. You don't go through Wellston and stop at a stop sign. I grew up from that type of neighborhood. So when God gets ready for me, ain't nothing I can do about it, bro.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.